Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another cross-stitching update video. In this video, I will be spinning the wheel whenever I am able to. I'm not making promises right now on how often I will be spinning the wheel because I don't always stitch every day, but I will be spinning a wheel to pick my project that I work on, and then I will be coming back and showing you the update of what I get done on the projects that I work on. So I will be starting right now with spinning the wheel to pick my first project for this video. And here is the wheel right now. This is my November wheel, so I updated the projects on it from October, so we have a different variety of things. And I got Little Gamer, so it's a different variety of things, but I'm still just getting the same charts. So Little Gamer is artwork by Medusa Dollmaker and charted by Gecko Rouge. It's not in the envelope, I just realized that. I'm gonna have to go grab it. Little Gamer is a project that I am trying to do 4,000 stitches on every month so that I can do 30,000 stitches this year and then next year get it finished. I say that so often. And I did mention in my last video that this month I will be working on background. So I realized that most of what is left of this chart right now is the blue background. So this month is going to be just attempting to do 4,000 stitches of background, so be prepared for a lot of blue stitches. And this is on 25 count 2 over 1 tent stitch, which is just another way of saying half stitch. So there is Little Gamer. I will also be trying to do stitching daily-ish on Autumn Harmony, which I will show at the end of the video, and then I will also be trying to do stitching on the Heaven and Earth Designs 2024 stitch along because I would like to have 4 pages finished on that chart by the end of the year so I can get the other stitch along charts. So that is what will be going on. I will be back hopefully in the next few days with an update on Little Gamer. And here is Little Gamer after, it was like 600-ish stitches, somewhere around there. And I was just working more on the background because I mentioned that I will be doing a lot of background stitching this month, trying to fill in a lot of this blue. And so that's what I'm going to be doing. And so I was just working on this top row. And then I was also trying to get the stars outlined so that I can stitch the blue without having to keep track of like counting because there are quite a few of these little stars that I need to work around. I think there's also some Tetris blocks. There's one here, and then I think there might be one somewhere else up in this area. So I really want to get those areas outlined, and then I can fill in the blue without having to look at the pattern anymore, so I can like be sitting other places, maybe do this when I am in the car at school pickup or something, and that would be an easy thing to do, is just work on the one color. And now I will spin the wheel and pick my project for today. I am really excited to see what gets picked. Maybe something Christmassy would be nice, since I do love Christmas, as I've mentioned a lot. And we have, oh man, it was almost Santa's on his way, but it's Little Gamer again. That's fine, because my goal for this is this month I need to try and do 4,000 stitches of the background, so I can just keep working on filling in more of this blue background. And I will be back tomorrow with an update on Little Gamer. I am back and it's been almost a week later because I did not stitch for like 3 days. So the last time I filmed was on Tuesday, which was election day, and it is now currently Monday, Veterans Day, so almost a week later. And I did not stitch, I think Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I was just kind of like trying to distract myself any way possible. So like I was just like playing games or doing something that would like fully require my mind to be like on something and not like cross stitch where you can like think a lot. You can overthink things when you're cross stitching, so I was like wanting things to like fully distract myself. Anyways, so the things that I did work on though since my last video, I did not work on Little Gamer. I will say that right now. I didn't cross stitch for like 3 days, and then I was like, when I did start cross stitching, I was like, I need to work on Autumn Harmony because I have been behind on her for like what, the last month. I've consistently been behind. So I was like, I need to work on Autumn Harmony. And then I also was working on Kita because I'll talk about why I was like, I really need to finish her. So the first thing I'll talk about though is what I worked on going for back in time. So Tuesday. On election day, I did work on my socks and I finished my second sock. So the socks are fully finished. This was the one that I worked on Tuesday. This other one was the one I'd finished in September. So my socks are done. This is a vanilla sock from Crazy Sock Lady. You can find the pattern on YouTube for free, or there is a written pattern on Ravelry, which I ended up buying the written pattern too because I like to be able to just go back and check the notes, like how many are you casting on for each thing and blah, blah. You know, I like to have the written thing too. So finished my socks. And then I did not stitch for a while, and then I worked on Autumn Harmony, which I will show at the very end of the video. This video is not going to end with this clip, I don't think. And then I ended up buying the Heaven and Earth Designs Stitch Along for 2025 because I was like, I want to have something to look forward to next year because the January coming up could be, who knows. So I wanted something to look forward to in January. And so I ended up purchasing the Stitch Along, which means I need to have one more finish because I am trying to whip down. So the way that I'm doing that is I have to finish 2 things to be able to start one thing. So I had finished Strawberry Farm last month, so I still need to have one more finish so I can start something. So I really need Kita finished by the end of the year so I can start the Hade Stitch Along at the beginning of next year. So I was working on Kita by Pinky the Pink from makeitpink.net. And all that was left was beading, and I just been putting it off. So I did this beading here, which I ran out of the white beads in this section. So I did white beads here, and then I ran out in this section. There still needs to be white beads in this section, and this section, but otherwise all the other beading down here is finished. So it's just going to be getting the white beads. Which, to order the white beads, because I haven't ordered them yet, I need to pick out which fabric I want to use for the Hade Stitch Along, because I want to order the fabric for that at the same time, because I don't want to do 2 separate orders and have things coming separately, because that would be silly to have one order of beads and then like a week later do an order of fabric. So I need to pick my fabric. I am not sure if I want to do 25 count, 2 over 1 tent stitch, 32 count, 1 over 1 tent stitch using CXC, or I was thinking about using a 20 or 22 count, doing 2 over 1 tent stitch, but using CXC because it's thicker than DMC. So that's what I'm not sure about, is which fabric I want to use. 123 Stitch is also out of the 20 count gridded fabric right now, which is kind of like sad because I was really tempted to get that, because I have seen other people talk about using 20 count with CXC and the coverage is better because CXC is thicker than DMC, so I was wanting to test that out because it's a stitch along, it's a smaller pattern, so it would be a good time to test out that fabric and floss combination. But yeah, 123 Stitch is out, so I don't know if I can find somewhere else to get the fabric and the beads at the same time, so that is what I'm thinking about. And then also the blue beads that need to go up here are actually shipped, and they should be arriving, I think, tomorrow, because I got a text that they are in Washington now, but there is not going to be mail delivery today, I don't think, because, you know, Veterans Day. So tomorrow, hopefully, I will have the blue beads and I can do some more beading on her, and then I will have Kita finished. So I'm very excited about that, to have another finish and to be able to start the Hade Stitch Along. So now I will be back to spinning the wheel, and we will see how I go with that, because, you know, it just kind of fell apart last week. So I will spin the wheel and pick a project for today. And we have Medina Gates, which is by Cross Stitch the Globe. They have a YouTube channel, and they sell their patterns on an Etsy shop, which is also called, I think, Cross Stitch the Globe. And let's see if I can find it. It's right here. So here is my starting point on this chart. I cannot remember what fabric this is. I think this might be another one of the mystery fabrics. I'm not entirely sure. And I am stitching, I think, 2 over 1 full cross on this one. And so I will be back tomorrow, hopefully with another update. I am back with about 600-ish stitches on this piece. I was filling in the sky here, and then I was also filling in my parked threads because I had a ton of parked threads and I really wanted to get some of them worked in, and so I would go back and forth, like a parked thread, do some sky, just back and forth. And yesterday, I think I had said that this was a mystery fabric. This is not a mystery fabric. This is one that I had actually ordered, I think, from 123 Stitch, and I think it's an 18 count, and so I'm doing it 2 over 1 full cross. And this was a chart that was on my wheel because it was at the lowest percentage on my list of projects that I want to finish, and it's currently no longer the lowest percentage. So when I started it yesterday, it was at 6%, and now it's at like 9.98%. It's really close to 10%, so it's not the lowest percentage piece anymore, Originally, I was going to keep the pieces that were the lowest percent on the wheel for the entire month, but I think I might switch them out because it's not the lowest percentage anymore. And I actually have 3 charts now that are at lower percentages than this chart, so I will be putting Fables back on the wheel because what percentage was Fables? Fables is currently only 8%, so I'm going to be putting Fables back on the wheel and work on that one. The other charts that are at lower percentages than this chart is Keyblade to the Kingdom is at 8%, 8.6, and Heaven on Earth 2, which is a charting creations piece, is at 9.13. So those 3 need to be worked on more because they're at lower percentages, so I'll put Fables onto the wheel, hopefully get that one above some of these other charts. And so I am going to update my wheel, and I will be taking off Medina Gates, and I will be changing it with Fables because that's the lowest percentage chart now. And then as I work on these pieces, I will just keep changing it so that it will always be the piece that's at the lowest percentage currently, if that makes sense. So Fables is now on the wheel, and I am ready to spin the wheel and pick my project for today, which it's already later today in the day because I wasn't able to film this morning, so it's actually afternoon. And so I don't know how much stitching time I will have, but I will try and do what I can. So I got Santa's on His Way, which is a piece by Charting Creations, and excited to work on because Christmas. I am ready for all the Christmas stitching, if I can find where it is. And here is Santa's on His Way. I will most likely be working in the bottom where I was focusing on the last few times that I worked on it, which right down there I was working on the trees down here the last few times I worked on it, and this is on a 28 count 2/1 tent stitch, and then this is what I have done on it so far. I started in the center, worked up to the top, and then worked down to the bottom, and I've just been kind of working wherever I feel like working on this piece. So real quick, I was going to talk about why didn't I film this morning, and it's because a new book came out that I am really excited about. So first I'm going to show off the other books from this author. So the author, Sarah Hawley, who wrote A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon, and A Werewolf's Guide to Seducing a Vampire, and A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch. She wrote a new book. I think it's going to be another book series, but right now it's just the first book has come out, and it's a different genre than these ones. So these are more of like kind of funny, lighthearted, romantic, kind of smutty books. If you read them, you know. But yeah, they're like more of like funny, romantic books with like magical creatures. She wrote a new book that came out today, and it is called Servant of Earth, and I pre-ordered it because when you pre-ordered it at my bookstore you would get a signed copy. So I picked up my copy today, and I cannot wait to start reading it because it's been more compared to like a Court of Thorn and Roses type thing. So it's like a fairy, there's like a court, there's trials, so it's more of like a dark fantasy type book, I think. So I'm excited to eventually start reading that, which I still have a lot of library books back there to read, so I need to get caught up on that. So I went and picked this book up today, which I'm very excited about. And then also today, my beads finally came. So I ordered 2 different types of blue beads for Kita. I think I might use these like brighter looking ones. I feel like these would go better color-wise in the area that they're supposed to be in. So I can do the blue beading on Kita eventually, but I still need to order the white beads. So I need to do that, but I still haven't picked what fabric I want to use yet for the Haid stitch along. So I need to do that first. I also haven't officially picked my chart for the Haid stitch along for next year, for 2025. I'm thinking about doing Drinks on the Beach, really leaning towards it, but my favorite chart is actually the, I can't remember what it's called. It's something about unicorn, and there's a waterfall in the background. Because it's weird because the chart has unicorn in the title, but the crop version for the stitch along does not have unicorns in it. So it always confuses me what the name of the chart is because it has unicorns in it, but it's not unicorns. The full piece of artwork on their website that they sell, that one has unicorns like in the bottom corners, but the way they cropped it, the stitch along chart does not have a single unicorn in it. So that is all though that I have, I think, for this clip today. I will be back tomorrow or maybe the next day with my progress on Santa's on His Way, and hopefully I can make some good progress on that tree down there. And here is Santa's on his way after 2 nights of not very much stitching. So I had a couple days where I did not stitch very much, and I ended up working on this tree here. So like this is a little cluster of trees. There are 3 of them. I am trying to get them finished because I don't like stitching trees because they have a lot of confetti. So I was just focusing on this tree here, bringing the colors down. And I also worked in some of these parked threads because some of the threads I would stitch down the trees here, park them here, and then I have been trying to work them up here on this other tree now that there are other stitches that I can use to kind of base where the other stitches go. So that's one of the ways that I keep track, like if I am stitching like in a large area, is I will like fill in the color that has a lot of stitches, and then I will use those stitches to kind of decide where the other stitches go. Plus this is a gridded fabric, so it is easier to be able to count where you are going, because I did have someone ask me on Autumn Harmony, which I will be showing next, how I don't get lost when I stitch extreme cross country, or how I like don't make mistakes. And I grid, number 1, is the biggest thing. So any mistake I make, I can usually catch in the box. So whenever I am stitching, I'm always kind of looking at where do the stitches go within that box, and then I also look at the stitches around it. Like this stitch is supposed to be 1 row over, like 3 down, and then there's also supposed to be these other stitches completed next to it. And so I'm always kind of looking at where is the stitch in the box supposed to go, and are the other stitches around it, you know, where they're supposed to be. So I can always kind of catch mistakes within a box, if that makes sense, by gridding, and then also by having like one color that's done that I can base stitches off of. So as long as I haven't made a mistake in my gridding and with the original color, it's usually pretty easy to work off of the stitching you've done and then also use the grid. So that was Santa's on his way. It did not get a lot of stitching because I haven't stitched a ton. And then for Autumn Harmony, I was going to show her now because I think I'm going to end this clip now because it's been like 2 weeks since I put a video up of my cross stitching. So it's going up. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't think it's very long because I haven't done that much stitching. Like numbers wise, in October, for the whole month of October, I did 20,000 stitches. So far, we are halfway through November. It is November, I think 15th today. I've only done 5,000 stitches total, so my stitching is a lot slower this month, but it's fine. So for Autumn Harmony this month, I have been trying to do extreme cross country using the color 920, which is a orange shade. And then I also started doing another color because it was around the color that I'm doing. So I'm stitching with 920 mainly, but then there was an area that had a lot of 921 around the stitches. So I was like, I'll just do that color too and get a large chunk of some 921 done. So I'm doing 2 colors right now, kind of. And I'm working on this side of the chart, so it's going to be hard to probably see, and so I'll hold it back here first and I'll put up a before picture so you can kind of see, but like I said, it's going to be far away, so it might be hard to see where I've made progress, and then I will show you close up. So the color that I'm working on is this color here. It's like a darker rusty orange color, and I've just been taking it down this side of Autumn Harmony, and it gets more densely stitched down towards the bottom in her hair. So like there was this leaf here, and this is where I started to use 921 too. So this leaf is almost entirely 920 and 921, and so I was like, hey, if I do those 2 colors, I'll be able to actually see the leaf. And then there was this other leaf down here that's starting to show up, and then I need to just take the color all the way down to the bottom. And then because she has like her hair going down both sides, and then there is like a lighter area where her chest is, the color is not used in the middle section of her. So I'll hold her up. It's not really used in the middle, so I'm going to end up jumping over after I reach the bottom of the one side and going over here with her. So that is what I'm working on for Autumn Harmony. She is by Maxine Gadd, and like I said, my goal for this month is to try and finish the color 920 for sure, because that is 4,000 stitches that need to be done. And I also would probably like to finish 921 if I can, because like I said, those 2 colors are kind of all in the same area because they are like 1 shade difference. I think 920 is darker orange, and then 921 is like a slightly lighter orange. So there she is, and I do still love working on her. I have one more project that I was going to show, which did not get very much stitching, but I'll show it anyways and also talk about my new plan, and that is the chart Northern Lights, which is by Climbing Goat Designs on Etsy. And this is a piece that I was trying to work on Fridays and do focus on a finish Friday, but I realized that on Friday I tend to have the least amount of stitching time for some reason, and I don't know why that is. Like, there are a lot of weekends where I was supposed to work on it on Friday and I ended up working on the chart Saturday instead because I did not end up stitching very much Friday. So my new plan is to start working on it in the car when I am picking my kids up. So car pickup line stitching again, which I had quit doing for a while. I would like knit or listen to an audiobook, but recently I realized I was just like doing nothing. I would like be on my phone and stuff, so I need to stop doing that, get back to stitching, and so that's when I'm going to try working on Northern Lights and see how that goes. So here it is right now. I worked on it yesterday in the car pickup line, and I think I did like 100 stitches on it, so I'm hoping that I can kind of keep that up and get about 100 stitches on it every day, which would be decent progress on it in like the long term. Over the course of a month, that would be pretty good. So I was wanting to get this finished this year, but I don't know if that's going to happen anymore unless in December I just work on it a lot more and try and get it done in December. And this one was on a mystery fabric 2/1 full cross. So you'll hopefully be seeing this one again next week with another, 400 or 500 stitches. My plans for this weekend is I don't think I'm going to be spinning the wheel. I think instead I'm going to try and work on my Whip Go pieces because I currently have 3 Whip Go pieces on the wheel right now and none of them have been picked, so I really don't want to get too behind in Whip Go. So the first piece that I have is one that is from last month, so it's an October Whip Go piece that I did not get to. For my Whip Go pieces, I try and do 1,000 stitches a month on the piece, and I only did like 200 stitches, and that is Keyblades to the Kingdom by Stitchy Rin. So I will be working on this piece. I think I might do a piece a day because it's currently Friday and my kids don't have school today, so I don't have to do like car pickup or anything like that today. So I might work on this one today and then like put the other ones on different days. So there's Keyblade to the Kingdom by Stitchy Rin. And then the other 2 pieces are Charting Creations pieces, and so there is Sanctuary, which is this piece here, which I love the colors, but there's a ton of confetti, so that's, not always fun. I did see this piece finished in the Charting Creations Facebook group, and it looks amazing. The artist is Sheila Wolk, and I love her artwork so much. And the last piece is Yennefer, which this piece, I'm not going to be doing confetti because I am stitching this one Extreme Cross Country by color, doing the black first. So Yennefer is from Witcher, so I have my Witcher piece and then she's like the little companion piece to that. And I am trying to get all of the black finished first, which is taking a while. I think all that's left really is doing the rest of her hair, and then she has a mask on her face, but that is taking quite a while to do. But I am really excited to see what it looks like when the mask is filled in, because on the Pattern Keeper mock-up it looks pretty cool when there's just like the black highlighted and you can see where the black areas are going to be. And this is on 28 count along with Sanctuary 2/1 10 stitch. So those are my plans for the weekend, but that will be shown in the next video because I'm ending this video now because it's been going on for like 2 weeks. So I don't remember what the heck I've been talking about this whole time. I was also going to mention that I did order my fabric for the Haid Stitch Along. I think I ordered 32 count, and then I also ordered a piece of 20 count, and I am going to test them to see which one I want to do. If I do 32 count, it would be 1/1 10 stitch using CXC, or I might do it on 20 count 2/1 10 stitch, but I need to test the coverage on that and see if I like the coverage because I've never done 20 count with CXC before. So I need to test that out once I get it, but that also means that I ordered the beads for Kita, so I will be finishing Kita as soon as those beads get in, so look for a finish on Kita, hopefully in my next video, fingers crossed. That is all that I have though for this video. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!